What's up, everybody? Welcome into ESPN MMA YouTube. I am Brett Okamoto alongside Carlos Legaspi and Gilbert Melendez. We are wrapping up Noche UFC from T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. The rivalry, the big fight at flyweight, the big Mexico versus the world ends in a split draw. Not what any of us thought. I doubt what any of us wanted. I guess the main question, of course, right off the bat is, did you agree with the scorecards, Carlos?
I had Alexa winning 3 of the 5 rounds, but it being so close, and especially I thought that the third round might be at 10-8 for Valentina, because she was close to finish. She had a lot of control time. I wasn't expecting the 10-8 on the 5th round that Alexa had, but I was thinking it might be a split decision because it was a really close fight. But I had Alexa winning.
Yeah.
Right, you took a deep breath, man, but I'm so excited. What an amazing fight this was to me. I would love to watch this again. I had it 3-2 for Alexa Grasso. Definitely the first round went to Valentina. She got the takedown. The second to Alexa with the big drop. The third to Valentina again. She had the takedown in control. And the fourth, that front headlock with those mean knees from Alexa Grasso, to me was 2-2 going into the 5th round. I was super excited on the edge of my seat. Valentina's going to run away with it. And then she goes for the takedown. Alexa takes her back and ground and pounds her. And I think she wins 3-2. I'm not completely happy that it was a draw, but I'm happy the belt is still around Alexa Grasso's waist, and I love the fight. It was a great night, and what a great night tonight.
I will agree with you. I mean, obviously it was a very entertaining fight, very back and forth, very fun to watch, very high level. The reason that I think I sigh is because there was so much at stake here, man.
Yeah.
I mean, of course it was a title fight, but in addition to that, you think about Valentina Shevchenko's place in history in female MMA. You think about this was big Mexico night, and it just feels like there's got to be a 6th round or something, right? It just leaves this taste in your mouth. And part of the reason I feel that way is because I don't think, personally, and I've been wrong a million times before, and Dana White is not here. He did not attend, so I don't think we'll get an answer tonight. I don't think they'll do the trilogy right away. Carlos, what do you think they'll do, and what would you want them to do?
I think they should go with Manon Fiorot or Erin Blanchfield now that they are like really close, and they're coming up big wins. I mean, what Blanchfield did with Tayla Santos, who also got Valentina in a lot of trouble, and Manon is coming from beating a former champion in Rose Namajunas. So I think those 2 options could be good. We've been seeing a lot of immediate rematches, a lot of trilogies recently. I know that this is something that the promotion might like, but like in my personal opinion, I like to see Grasso against like a different challenge before. Maybe having Alexa against Valentina for the 3rd time anytime soon.
Gil, what about you?
Oh, I feel like we need to run this back. Cinco de Mayo's around the corner. Let's do that. This was a huge night. I mean, we had Canelo fight Triple G 3 times. We had Juan Manuel fight Manny Pacquiao 4 times. I mean, this is what it's all about. And we saw an amazing display of mixed martial arts from these ladies. They're getting better before our very eyes. Even Valentina brought some new tricks, but Alexa Grasso did an amazing job. I thought it was an amazing fight, and it entertained me so much. And the crowd was huge out here. I mean, I think there's huge momentum. I think we need to go with it. It was not a boring fight. It was an amazing fight. I want to see it again.
Yeah, I think it's tough. I mean, we just saw in the flyweight men's division that they ran that fight 4 times essentially in a row. I don't know. I don't know if the fans will necessarily be clamoring for it, even though it was a good fight. There was drama in it. If it's me, I think you do Valentina Shevchenko versus Manon Fiorot, and you do Grasso versus Erin Blanchfield. You put them on the same night. You put them on the same card. You build it up. You say the winners are going to fight the winners. You build the division in that way. I think that would do more for the division than running this back a 3rd time immediately, but we will see. We'll see what the UFC wants to do. Before we take off, I want to talk about Raul Rosas Jr. Man, that guy is a spark plug, frantic, pure napalm from the second the bell rings. I mean, he is very fun to watch. He's doing well. He's only 18 years old. It is very hard to develop while you're in the UFC. He's doing it. I guess your just takeaway from him, it's tough to make a takeaway when he's so young. And what is this kid's ceiling,
My
Gil?
takeaway is this kid is mean. He's ferocious. He loves to be in the octagon. He loves to hurt people. He took that guy's, after he dropped him, he pounced on him, took his back, and he ground and pounded like mean as can be. And I saw that in him. This kid is, he has that courage in there, and he comes with that right attitude, and that's a fighter, right? You have a lot of people who are professionals. They step into the octagon. They're sparring. You go, I go. This kid's in your face. He's here to get in a fight. He's here to conclude fights, and when he gets out there, he's an animal. He's mean. I love his style, and there's nothing but up for him, in my opinion.
Carlos, this has been an interesting year for Mexican MMA. Obviously, we saw the Yair Rodriguez and Brandon Moreno, and it seemed like Mexico was taking it all by storm. And then Yair loses. I'll bet to Alex Volkanovski. Brandon Moreno loses to a guy who's kind of had his number, and Alexander Pantoja. what is the state of Mexican MMA as far as you're concerned after seeing tonight?
At the end, it was 7 title fights, including Mexican-born fighter, because Irene Aldana also fought Amanda Nunes among the other 3 that became champions. The problem here is that the gap is kind of big. These 4 guys, Alexa, Irene, Jair, and Moreno, they are all top 5, or they fought for the title, but then there's not another Mexican-born fighter that is already ranked, not even a top 15. But we just saw a great display tonight. We saw Daniel Selhuber with an anaconda choke. He signed at 22. He signed as a great prospect. He had a slow start, but he's coming in now in 2 wins. And he got rocked today, but he ended up winning on his first finish. Even though Fernando Padilla lost today, I think the guy has a lot of talent, a really good reach for the 145 division. Lupi Godinez look amazing. I think she might be ranked by the next year, and even at the pace that she fights, she always takes like 4 or 5 fights every year. And I mean, it was a great day, a great display for the future talent. Even Rosas, now that he was born here in the U.S., but he represents Mexico. He wants to fight in Mexico if the promotion has the event in 2024, as it was announced today that the plans is to go back to Mexico City in 2024. So I think we have a brand new generation. It probably will be a big gap, probably not 2024, but maybe by 2025 you have like 3 or 4 different contenders to fight for any of the titles.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to watch. I mean, we've seen some of these sort of explosions, you know, with Ireland, and then Australia and New Zealand has had their moment, you know, and then can it be sustained? And you just wonder, can Mexico, will it be a flash in the pan, or will there be like a powerhouse? Will it be a rising, you know, network of fighters for mixed martial arts? It would be great if it did. I mean, that would add such an extra layer to this sport.
It will be hard from the divisions from 170 to 180, 185 to 205, because you don't see those fights in the local scene. But I think there's a ton of talent in 125, 135, 145 division, and even in lightweight. So with the PI opening the beginning of next year, and there's right now is 19 Mexican-born fighters in the roster. So I think we have talent for a couple of years.
If I may, I think the Mexican fighters are here to stay, right? I think it was just a matter of time before these Mexican warriors were able to get the resources that they did not have, right? Now there's a bunch of black belts walking around Mexico. There was no black belts before. Now you have people who left Mexico to really perfect their striking, their Muay Thai, and they're bringing it back to Mexico. There's so many more resources in Mexico, and I think that's what was the problem. These great athletes that had great hands, but they didn't have the resources. Now they have the resources. So yes, it's a matter of time before we see more and more Mexican stars. In my opinion, they're here to stay. And obviously the UFC knows that, else we wouldn't be doing this tonight.
I hope so. I mean, we've seen what Mexico's influence has had on the sport of boxing. I know the UFC would like it. I would like it as a fan of this sport to see that as well. It was a good night of fights. A little bit of a disappointing ending, unless you're Gilbert Melendez, who loves split draws, but it was a great fight nonetheless. And we will see you next time. We'll gear up for UFC 294 coming up in October. Until then, he is Gil, he is Carlos, I am Brett Okamoto. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.